Ma Sita, last part. It is the morning of the journey to Ayodhya. Love and Kush are excited beyond measure. They have made me wash their clothes, the simple dhotis that all of Valmiki's disciples wear twice. They have sat impatient but compliant while I oiled their shoulder long hair and combed the knots out of it. They have polished their necklaces of tulsi beads until they shine. Now they have come to say goodbye. I hug them hard, suddenly panicking, not wanting to let go. I have no reason to be afraid. I know Valmiki will take excellent care of them. Plus, they have proved that they are eminently capable of protecting themselves. But there is a bad feeling inside me. I can tell the boys are itching to be off, but they hold still in my embrace. Love kisses me on the cheek. Kush pats my back. They tell me there is nothing to worry about. They will be careful and not take any risks. They will obey every word of Valmiki tells them. We will be back before you know it, Kush says. We will bring you gifts from the big city and tell you all about the court, Love says. I nod and place my hand in blessing on their heads, too overcome to say anything. Then they are gone, running and laughing with all the disciples, kicking up dust, ignoring the demonstrations of Valmiki's assistants. I wandered aimlessly around the ashram. With the men and children gone, it is too quiet. I try to busy myself, but there is hardly any work. I try to join the other women's conversations, but they can't hold my attention. I can't eat. And at night, I lie on my sleepless mat in a hut that seems vast as a desert and watch the moon making its lonely way across the sky. I look desultorily for my Sitayan, wanting to add a few lines, hoping it will distract me, but it is not where I thought I put it, and I don't have the energy to search. So, I am at the mercy of my memories, which break upon me endless as waves. The boys, when they were born, I see them older, running through the forests with me following, urging them to be careful as they clambered up trees or pushed their way into thorny bushes, searching for berries, or hid in the tall grass, breathless with silent laughter, waiting for me to find them. Childhood ailments, fevers, when I sat up through the night, placing cool poultices on their brows. The pride with which I listened to them chanting hymns or watched them sparring with Valmiki, bringing him down to the ground so that he laughed and said, Now you are ready. And in our hut, late at night, their intense eyes When I told them about the astras, their lips silently repeated the words of power. Every morning, I wait for hours at the gate of the ashram, hoping for news. What are the boys doing now? I wonder. Have they sung the Ramayana yet? Has their father recognized them? Will he really accept them like Valmiki thinks? I want that so much for them, and yet I dread it because that will mean that they will never come back. What will happen to me then? One morning, Indira Ma interrupted my prayers. A messenger has come from the court. He tells me that after the yajna was successfully completed, Valmiki asked Love and Kush to sing his great composition. Ram listened intently, tears running down his face, and at the end, he embraced the twins and accepted them as his sons and declared in front of the entire assembly that they would be his heirs. I am weeping so hard, happiness for the boys, a dreadful emptiness for me, that I don't hear what else the messenger is telling me until Mother Indra says, when does she have to leave? Today, the messenger says, the king wants her in the court as soon as possible. I wipe my eyes and look, and there is the palanquin, huge and glittering and embossed with the seal of the house of Raghu, 16 bearers standing ready to carry me away. Extra bearers, the messenger tells me, are waiting along the way so we will not have to stop anywhere. And before I have fully taken in what is happening, Indra and Dharani are walking me to the palanquin, which the other women are filling with simple ashram gifts. I try to thank them, an impossible task, for saving my life. No, it was my spirit they saved, and thus my soul. We are all weeping, all the women of the ashram, but this time it is tears of happiness. All the way back to Ayodhya, my heart swaying in time with the palanquin, I think of many things. Seeing my dear Urmila after all these years, and my sons, now that they are officially princes. At the lion headed main gate of the palace, a woman is waiting for me. I recognized Urmila's maid, Saudamini, older and comfortably plump now. She stops the palanquin bearers imperiously, even though the messenger protests that he is supposed to take me straight to the court. Those were the king's orders. Are you crazy, man? Saudamini barks. The queen can't go to the court looking like this. I am taking her to Princess Urmila's quarters. When she is properly dressed, we will bring her. You just go and tell King Ram that. Urmila throws open the doors to her chambers herself and hugs me so hard, I think she will never let me go. We weep a few happy tears, but mostly we look at each other. I touch the silver strands in Urmila's hair, the lines radiating from the edges of her eyes. She takes my face in her hands and says, wonderingly, that I look as young as ever. Must be All that clean ashram living, I quip. I don't believe her completely. Love does that to you, makes you see everything through a golden wheel. But a part of me is happy to think that Ram might find me more beautiful than he expects. Urmila's children run in, a beautiful boy and girl that have her eyes and Lakshman's stubborn mouth. They hug me and tell me that they have already become great friends with Love and Kush. Love is teaching them how to shoot arrows, and Kush is teaching them to sing. It makes me happy that my sons already have so much loving relatives around them. I hand them chunks of honeycomb that they stuffed greedily into their mouths, claiming that it was the most delicious thing they have eaten ever. Urmila shoos them off. Go play with your brothers, she says. But they tell her that Love and Kush are busy in the court singing something very long and difficult for Uncle Ram. He must really like the Ramayana, I think, if he is making them sing it again. I am happy for Valmiki because he worked very hard on the epic, even though he didn't get it quite right. I think of my own story, wondering where I had left it. Perhaps if I send a messenger to Indirama, she will be able to find it and send it to me. Even if no one else ever sees it, it will comfort me to possess a record of the truth. Many times I thought of leaving the palace, going to the ashram to be with you, Urmila says. What was done to you was wrong, and I felt guilty that by remaining in Ayodhya, I was condoning that. She sighed. But I couldn't leave the children and I couldn't leave Lakshman. He would be so lonely without me because I am the only one to whom he can confide his doubts and sorrows. You don't have to explain, I say. Those are the golden ropes that bind you and pull you in different directions. We hug again. It is a joy to hold each other after such a long separation. Then suddenly, the memory comes to me when I said goodbye to her in the ashram that I would only see her again on the last day of my life. Suddenly, there was a great urge in me to see my Ram and my sons immediately. I walked slowly and carefully across the room, holding on to furniture because a sudden movement might make my body fall apart. I moved slowly towards the court just like in a trance. Urmila, sensing something terrible, falls at my feet, begging me not to go. But I raise her up and kiss her gently. Be strong for my sake, I say. Take care of Love and Kush when I am gone. They are shy, you know, underneath all that young man bluster. They will have a hard time asking for anything. They love milk sweets. Will you make them some on their birthday? What do you mean gone? Urmila asks, her face pale with shock. What are you going to do? I don't answer because I am not sure myself. I don't know what will happen when I am face to face with Ram. The first thing I hear when I enter the royal court is my boys singing their high, clear voices that lodge in my heart. Their tones, innocent yet powerful, rise all the way to the high ceilings of the ancient Rome that has seen so much already, both tragedy and triumph. They are seated on Ram's right on silver thrones that indicate their princely stature. They are the only ones who see me. No one else notices because every single person in the room is mesmerized by the purity of their singing, their passion, and their conviction. I too listen. I listen with my whole body because this may be the last time I will hear them. Their beautiful voices pierce my entire being. I struggle to hold in my tears, my pride, my joy. Then I recognized what they are singing. It is not Valmiki's great epic. They are singing the pages I had written in my lonely darkness out of the need to give voice to all of us who were pushed to the edges, misjudged, misunderstood. My truth and the truth of the women whose lives touched mine for better or worse. Their laughters, their tears, their triumphs and sufferings, their blessings and curses. Love and Kush must have conspired and taken the manuscript from our hut when I was busy elsewhere. They must have practiced singing it in secret. They must have decided to perform it in my honor, risking the anger of their guru as well as their newfound father to tell the world my story. I am weeping as I listen to them sing my story. Their eyes meet mine and they are weeping too. And this is one of the final things I learned about love. It is found in its purest form on this imperfect earth between mothers and young children because there is nothing they want except to make each other happy. The song ends. The last immaculate notes float away. As though they are released from a trance, people blink and wipe their eyes and look around. That is when they see me. A whisper goes around the hall until it reaches Ram, who is even now lost in the world of my story. He raises his eyes, which are still unfocused, and I see that his face is wet with tears. His face, so stately, is the face of a true king, bearing nobly the marks of sorrow and care that life has left on it. But when his gaze falls on me, it changes, and a wild hope, shimmering with excited joy, leaps in his eyes. For a moment, he is my Ram, my own, the young man I vowed to live with and follow all my life. The husband who washed and bandaged my blistered feet on the forest. The king who, after we returned and struggled together to bring back prosperity to Ayodhya, clasped my hands tightly and said, "You are my Lakshmi. I couldn't rule this land without you." "Is it really you?" he cries now. He puts out a hand towards me as though he is afraid I might vanish. I start forward. Love and Kush begin clambering down to me. Finally, we will be together, the family they have longed for all their lives. They don't know, in their innocence, that an invisible barrier has risen between us. I shake my head slightly, a subtle signal. They are confused, but they have always trusted me. So they obeyed and returned to their seats. Ram is speaking now. He has controlled whatever emotions shook him a few moments ago and uses his regal official voice. I commend you for bringing up love and kush so well, with the help of Maharshi Valmiki, of course. You will be happy to know that I have accepted them as my sons and have declared that they will inherit my kingdom. As you surely understand, from now on they must live with me in the palace so I can train them appropriately, preparing them to be great kings. They, we, have lost so much time. He pauses and swallows, and I recognize, though probably no one else in the court does, because none of them know him as I do, that he is nervous. He continues, I would like you to come back to Ayodhya and live with us so that we can be a complete family. The children needed you, and I do too. I speak calmly. O King of Ayodhya, I address you in this way because you have always placed your role as king ahead of your role as husband. In this court, which has been set up to dispense justice to all citizens, I ask you this, for I have been a citizen of Ayodhya too. Did you act justly when you sent me away to the forest, knowing I was innocent of what gossip mongers whispered? Did you stop to think, as a wise king would, that there would always be people who gossip, even in the best run kingdoms, for it is their nature? Were you compassionate the way a king is meant to be when you banished me without telling me what you were about to do, without allowing me to defend myself or choose my destiny? Were you fair to your unborn children when you sentenced them to a life of hardship in the wilderness? And if you were not, shouldn't someone be judging you today? You who care so much about the citizens of Ayodhya, did you think of the impact your actions would have on the women of the city? That men would punish their wives harshly or even discard them for the smallest reflections, saying, King Ram did so, then why shouldn't I? I accept your priorities and I understand why they are so important to you. You are compensating for the mistake your father, King Dashrath, made when he gave in to the demands of his favorite wife and banished you, even though he knew it was bad for his kingdom. It left a deep mark on you. But I don't agree with you that the private life must be sacrificed for the public one. And that is the final advice that I leave for my children. My dear boys, balance your duty with love. Trust me, it can be done. For the sake of my sons, I made myself live when it would have been much easier to give up and die than to go through the pain of having the person you love most in the world abandon you. I wish you all happiness with my dearest love and kush. I bless this land, its men and women. I bless my sons. O King Ram, I call on my Mother Earth and my Father Fire, for both have shaped me into the woman I am today, to come to my aid. O Mother, O Father, all my life I have suffered and endured and been wrongly accused. If I am indeed blameless of what the gossip mongers whispered, give me a sign. As I speak, I feel a powerful energy course through me. Underneath my feet, the earth cracks open with a deafening roar. The place around me ignites. Leaping flames surround me, forming a protective barrier. Beyond them, I can see Love and Kush struggling mightily to get to me. But Ram's brothers hold them back. My heart wrenches at the anguish in their voices as they call to me, Mother, please, don't go. Don't leave us alone here. Ah, my dears, I hope someday you will understand why I had to do this. Ram is running towards the fire, his arms outstretched, his crown falling unheeded to the floor. But he can't pass through the flames. Sita, he cries desperately, Sita, Sita, Sita. But he's saying something quite different with his heart. And because I am no longer fully in this mortal world, I can hear it. Forgive me, Sita. No matter what I did, no matter what I prioritized through everything, I have always loved you. Forgive me. Is that a golden chariot rising up from the darkness of Patal to carry me away? I step forward and set my foot on it. Around me, celestial flowers are falling in a crystal shower. Or are they the tears of the gods who crowd the skies, looking down in sorrow and admiration at my final act of self respect? The fire leapt higher, but when I focus my gaze on them, they grow still and clear like a wall of crystal. Through them, I can see the other world that has come to me only in tantalizing glimpses until now. The pristine ocean of milk, the jeweled palace of Vishnu sparkling with all the colors of the rainbow. It is more real than the royal court of Ayodhya, far more beautiful. Unearthly music, played by Gandharvas, rises in a crescendo, calling, Come, it is time. You have done your duty. You have suffered enough. It is time to return. Am I the only one who can hear it? I have one last thing I must do before I turn back from woman to goddess, before my new world. No, it is my original, forever abode, envelops me in pristine bliss, obliterating all complicated, contradictory human emotions. One last crucial thing I must tell my husband. I forgave you a long time ago, I say to Ram, though I didn't know it until now, because this is the most important aspect of love, whose other face is compassion. It is not doled out drop by drop. It doesn't measure who is worthy and who is not. It is like the ocean, unfathomable, astonishing, and measureless.